everyone wants to succeed. It's just human nature. Their definition of success may be different, most likely is definitely different, but that desire is the same. And the journey to success used to be somewhat simple. You worked hard, you made the right connections, and you put your hand up. And what made it even easier was that you did it during the hours of 9 to 5 at the physical office that you worked at. But our world isn't like that anymore. It has changed. And people work all hours of the day. Flexible work arrangements are on the rise. We work remotely very often now, or in hybrid ways. We work globally, so we don't even work with people who are living in the same city as us all the time. So we cannot lean on the old way of finding success as the only way anymore. We have to implement new strategies and think about our path to success differently. So this is why I want you to watch this training, because I'm going to teach you how by creating a personal brand. And I'm going to walk you through the 5 questions that you need to ask yourself so that you can design a personal brand that showcases you in a way that makes sense to the people who are hearing it. Hello, I'm Sarah Curto, and I'm the career coach and co-founder of the Career You Love Academy. And I am the coach that takes people who are dreading their days, who are underpaid, and who feel like they're working so hard at putting out a difference that they don't even really want to be putting out. And I get them into jobs, new careers, new industries, new types of roles where they are excited to wake up on Monday mornings, where they are finally making what they want and deserve, plus some, and where they are making the impact that they want to be making, where they are having a difference, and a difference that they are proud to be having. And I want to welcome you to this channel, my career coaching channel. I do not have a name for it. If you have a good idea for a name, drop it in the comments. I hate naming things. But this is the place to learn how to find long-lasting career fulfillment and happiness. And I drop a new training every week that teaches you just that. Could be about interviews, about resumes, about your confidence, about career advice in general. It could be many different things. So subscribe and hit the notification so that you don't miss a single one. Now, today, personal branding. So here's a mind shift for you. I want you to think of yourself not as an employee, but as a product. Now, I know this is hard for us. It's one of the biggest reasons why we struggle with LinkedIn, with resumes, with our interviews, because we are so immersed in our careers that it's hard to only focus on what matters. And we often forget that we aren't creating like a novel, a chapter book. Instead, we're creating a marketing plan. So I love to use the analogy of a magazine. And I like to think of our LinkedIn profiles and a resume as a one-page ad in that magazine. And what we need to do is create something that will grab the attention of the reader for them to stop flipping through and look at your resume, look at your advertisement. And when you think about those advertisements, I'm totally dating myself here, because there is nothing better than growing up and cutting out ads, like ripping out the whole page or cutting out pieces and creating collages. Oh my gosh, it was so much fun. Back in the day. But when you think about those advertisements, they don't actually tell the would-be client, customer, everything about the product. They're just telling them enough to get them to think, I may want to see this in person. I may want to buy this. Like, we're not even for sure having them buy it. We're just giving them enough to get them excited about it. And the foundation of every good marketing plan that does this is a branding message. So what is your personal brand? Your personal brand is your messaging that shows the world your personality, your goals, and your differentiating factor, aka the value you bring to the table. Now, your brand, it sends a message and it creates an impression, one that extends beyond your work, your LinkedIn page, or your interactions with your colleagues. And you may be struggling with this concept, like if this is too structured, this is too rigid, this is too forced. And if you aren't even in marketing and you're like, this makes no sense, like I'm not in marketing, I don't need to know this, but I encourage you to do this because it's a super simple exercise. It is actually so that we can have you authentically showing up as you, not some version of you. So while we may think this is going to create a version of yourself, like you don't want to be an influencer, so you don't want to have this like look that you only show the outside world. That's not what this is about. This is about having you, your authentic you, being the thing that people notice and see and remember. So here are 5 questions that I want you to ask yourself that's going to result in a personal brand that lets everyone know just how amazing you are. So the first question, who are you? Now, if you're struggling with this question, your personality assessment, so like the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator or the Enneagram or any other personality assessment that you have ever done, will definitely help with this who are you. But some other questions or probing questions that can help is what gets you excited? What leaves you exhausted? What do others think of you? What role did your parents create for you? When you think about what people come to you for, like for advice or for solutions, what problem or what questions are they asking? What problems do you love to solve? What things get you excited about? What brings you joy in general? And what are your values? You may even want to take a look of words. Take a look at a list of words. English is hard sometimes, to see if there's anything that stands out that could help. Maybe like energized or serious or reserved or private or enthusiastic or motivated or driven or achievement oriented, goal oriented. There's so many different words that can help with this as well. Okay, question number 2. What matters most to you? This is a hard question because it does require a little bit of digging. I want you to think about what you value most in your work, in others, in yourself. And when you think of your definition of success, what type of impact does that lead you to? What kind of difference do you want to be making? And if you're struggling with that, I will encourage you to go ahead on over to this video that I'm going to list here that'll help, the Discovering Your Purpose. And then think back on your performance reviews. What feedback like really mattered a lot to you? Like you were really happy to have gotten that feedback or really upset that you got that feedback? Okay, question number 3. What do I bring to the table? Yeah, I know. So I do have another YouTube video that will for sure help with this. I want you to take a look at those assessments that you've done. There's a strengths and weakness area. That strengths will be very helpful. If you've done like an interest, motivation, and skills, the skills area will help. Your resume, your cover letter, all of that will provide good value. How you'll answer the tell me about yourself. There's going to be lots of great information and anything you may have already prepared. But also here's some other areas for you to look in. Maybe your performance reviews. What do they say about you? If we were to ask your family and friends, coworkers, managers what your strengths are, what would they say? And I want you to look at your wins and your accomplishments and ask yourself why you were able to achieve them, why the unique magic that is you led to them. Okay, question number 4 is who am I talking to? We have to think about our audience because we want our messages to resonate with somebody, and that's the audience who's going to be hearing it. These are the people who are decision makers, who we want to inspire, who we want to collaborate with. And if you have decided on your career path, if you've written your resume to a specific type of audience, then you've gotten a head start. But I want you to think about these sort of things. I want you to think about the audience and I want you to think, what do they care about? What matters most to them? What problems do they want to solve? What pain points do they have? What are their values? What kind of help do they need? And the last thing is I want you to think about your industry. What do you stand against? Is there something you wish that you could change and that you would love to be the leader of that change, even if that scares the crap out of you? But think about all of that when you think about the who am I talking to? And then question 5 is, how can I tie this all together? You know what you offer and you know what your audience wants. So now you need to craft a message that reflects what they want and in a way that showcases you authentically and genuinely, those sort of buzzwords, but it's just where you feel like it's you, like not some version, not some created version. It's just what you want to say. Your message should help people see that you are the person to give them what they want and need. And I believe that this exercise is not only key to your success in any career, but it is certainly vital for the career you want. And the reason why, it's because this is putting you front and center, ensuring that when you get hired, selected, promoted, etc., that they are hiring you, selecting you, promoting you, not some version that you created that actually makes it harder for you to be successful. Because not only then every day having to remind yourself to show up as that person, now you're also having to show up as that person to be successful versus just showing up and being successful. Okay, to quickly recap, the 5 questions is, who are you? What matters most to you? What do you bring to the table? Who am I talking to? And how can I or you tie it all together? So tell me in the comments below, what is your personal brand? Take care. I'll see you next week. Bye.
If this training resonated with you, then join the Career You Love Academy. It's my group coaching monthly membership program that takes unhappy workers who are unfulfilled, exhausted, and dreading their days to finding work they love, where they're finally making more money, more of an impact, while having the time and energy to truly enjoy and love their life. You can join us by going to www.sarahcurto.ca/CYLA. Now that's a Sarah without an H. So it's www.saracurto.ca/CYLA. See you in there.